Okay, guys, I am taking, give me 1 second. Okay, great to know that. Give me 1 second. Let me just rejoin it in 1 second and we will get started.
Hello guys, just give like ma'am is joining in a minute. Like she's having some issues, technical glitch from her side, so she will take more 10 to 20 seconds to rejoin. So guys, like till then you can hit the chat box with word excited because I feel you all are excited for today's session. So come on, keep hitting the chat box with word excited. Otherwise, if you want, you don't want to type much over the keyboard, then you can type yep also. YP yep. So it's a 3 word. Or if you want, you can go with the emojis of a thumbs up. Guys, come on, like if my voice is audible, then yeah, I can see Rohit. He's so much excited. Okay, like he has typed all the words which I've asked people to type. Thank you, Rohit. Okay, come on, guys. Keep up the like. I think it will be really great if you'll keep the chat box busy, relishing with all the messages of showing your excitement. I think our mentor has joined again. So we are the co-host. Guys, do check yourself. You are connected to the audio because I can see one more people who is not connected to the audio.
Yeah. Hi, guys, I'm back. I hope I am visible and audible.
Yes, Pragya, you are. So I
Yeah,
think
okay.
you can take the session from now because if you want, like we can wait for 2 more minutes because yet people are joining.
Sure. No worries. We can wait for, I believe we can wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. And in the meanwhile, we are getting to know each other. I'm getting to know the students and the people who are joining in. So that's a good thing. And yeah, so and Ayush, thanks a lot. Thank you from your side also, to make this happen and helping me with all the getting all this technical thing also in place, so thank you.
Welcome, Pragya.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, it is a Saturday and uh, weekend is just getting started, and I think this session in that sense uh, is also good in a way that it's not going to rob you of your the entire week has been jam packed. And what this session will do is to other than help you with the content strategy part of it, would also be something that in general will help you with the communication, getting into the into that weekend vibe, and into that communication basically thing that will further help you into absorbing the time that you are getting for yourself in exiting the week and entering the new week, this transition time that you'll get the Saturday evening and the Sunday. And perhaps this communication that we are going to have today, it will give you much more time to absorb the communication, absorb the conversations that we are going to have, and enter into the Sunday, and then move into the new week with a new different energy altogether. So I believe it's going to be good. So, yeah, I would like to know, before we are getting started, I would like to know a little bit about you guys, and let me know where are you like joining from, if you're a student. Uh, okay. Hi, I have another. Okay. Somebody asked a question. Guys, if there's a question, I would request you to, keep it a little free so that I can read it on my screen. Ayush, you think we should get started with the session?
Yeah, definitely we can start. Meanwhile, the other people will come if they want to, because I am locking the room at 4:15, so like we still have time. Okay, sure.
Okay, cool. So, guys, I am a health and wellness writer and a content strategist by profession. And I work mostly with healthcare organizations. Thank you, Dee. You have written, really looking forward to the session. Okay, good thing. Thanks. So yeah, guys, I am a health and wellness writer and a content strategist. I work with healthcare organizations, healthcare professionals, healthcare individuals, people who want to, who are doing work into healthcare industry, find their voice through content, basically. So when I say through content, which includes branding, which includes their social media marketing, which includes their website, website copywriting, everything and anything to do with content. It includes their personal branding. Some of the organizations that I work with are, physicians, hospitals, any healthcare providing services, like medical travel agencies, etc. So these are the kind of organizations and the niche market, niche industry that I particularly write for, work for, create content for. So and the way, how come why I am doing this session is because how I have figured out where I am right now, as a working as a content marketer, working as a working as a content strategist for brands, healthcare brands and healthcare organizations and healthcare professionals. This actually didn't come very easily to me. Then this didn't, it was not like I was, just flowing from a, just making my way sliding from my college to directly into into a healthcare organization and started, working like that as a healthcare professional. I consider myself as a health and wellness writer, as a part of a healthcare community, professional healthcare professional community. And my journey was, uh, I started out as a very unclear, confused kind of a person who was not sure of her interest, her where she wants to, people often ask us during the interviews where you want to see yourself in, 5 years, or how you see your future as. So I was very uncertain about all these questions, and I didn't know basically what, where, and how. And it is through my journey, through my content journey, through my content strategy journey, that I figured this out and found out that okay, this what I am doing right now is what I want to do for the rest of my career. This is the field that I want to build my career in, that I want to progress in, and that I see my future in. So this has been a long journey, and thankfully my content strategy, my skills in, content strategy has helped me a lot, has actually guided me to land where I am today. So and I hope that what I have learned and what I have implemented and what I have worked for my, what has worked for me in terms of creating content strategy, and using social media and content strategy to work as a guiding light for myself, and getting me to the place that I am, that I have found myself, in a comfortable, satisfying and well-paying career for myself as a healthcare writer and as a healthcare and wellness writer. So this is why, this is my why, this is why I am here, to help you guys how you can also use content strategy in social media and make it work for you, so that it helps you attract better work opportunities, better business opportunities, and basically creating better connections in any which ways, be it for your work, be it your career, be it your personal branding, anything. So this is basically the why this we are doing this session, and what this session will encompass. Basically, in the as we move forward, we'll understand what is content strategy. We'll also understand why and who needs a content strategy, and how to get started with the content strategy. I'll give you a couple of my tips, a couple of steps to get started with the content strategy creation. So guys, without any further ado, let me just get right into it and just tell you a little bit about what content strategy is basically. So guys, content strategy is nothing but figuring out what your core messaging has to be, what is the best and the most authentic self expression of yourself is, and saying it in a strategic, in a manner that it gets communicated very rightly to the right, it reaches the right people, the people that you want to resonate with, to the people who are your tribe, the people who who are the relevant folks that you want to bring your attention to. So basically that is the work of content strategy. That is what a content strategy is. In a nutshell, content strategy is finding a beautiful, most authentic, most realistic self expression to yourself. And when I say content strategy, now it comes to we reach a point, as an you will ask that who needs a content strategy. So let me tell you, the answer is very simple, and it is everyone. Everyone needs a content strategy. And the reason is simple. You think about it, you think any brands, you think about students, you think about employees, you think about organizations. Everyone, each and every stakeholder needs, or even if you think about as an individual level, each one of us would like to position ourselves, would like to speak in a way that we reach the right people, our message reaches the right person. Otherwise, what happens is that if what we want, if we are not clear here, and we're not clear here, and our messaging is very convoluted, is very confused, what we are speaking is not clear, unclear, or is giving people you know uh, is confusing people, is not giving a very clear understanding of what we want to say, what we want to uh, what we have on the table for them. It everything falls apart. You just miss to make the connect, you just miss to join the dots basically. And once you and everything falters if you can't make a connection, if you can't make an authentic connection. It just doesn't work out. You fail to attract your tribe, you end up attracting wrong people, or people who does not resonate with your messaging, with what you are as a person. uh, you end up probably not attracting a good number of work opportunities or business opportunities for yourself. To be honest, you might attract something that that doesn't make a lot of sense to you, and you, on the other hand, it ends up making you feel terrible if you land into a job, into a workplace that doesn't satisfies you on other than paying your bills. At one point in time, I would like to give you my own example. As I told you that after completing my education, you are not very clear about what kind of career journey or career path. Some of you, not everyone, but just speaking for myself, I was at that point in time not very clear that this is the field, or this is the industry, or this is the kind of career that I want to build in. And my only purpose was to get a job in an MNC, and settle down in a good life, and that's it. That's all I was looking for out of the college. And touchwood, it did work for me. I The first MNC visiting our faculty, our campus, for campus placement, I got recruited. I was working in an MNC, and living life as a professional, working in an IT company, as most of us do after graduating from our colleges. But very soon I realized that that is something that was not very fulfilling to me, in terms of, it was not satisfying me other than paying my bills. And that is a very important part. Your purpose or your work has to pay your bills, has to be enough to sustain you as an individual. But there has to be certain, at least for me, it has to be a little bit more in terms of resonating with what is the truest offering that I have on the table as an individual. And I believe, as we are interacting and you guys are here, I understand that this is something that is meaningful to you as well. You also want to find out, because you're watching me, because you have joined the session, it does mean that you are pretty serious about what exactly, where, and how you want to, what kind of a profession, what kind of a career that you want to basically carve for yourself. So this is something that helps a lot in finding that content strategy, helps a lot in finding that particular intention. I would say figuring out that intention. So yeah, first part of if you figure out your content strategy, it helps you, as I said, in your brand positioning. It helps you in lead generation for your business. It helps you in job search, in your job searches. It helps you in basically everything, finding your tribe, finding your community, everything. So that is where the content strategy really helps. And personal branding is a huge part of content strategy. Later in the session, I would also tell you how content strategy helped me attract jobs to twice in my lifetime, not once, but twice, through my content, without putting an effort to fill forms or to go on a job search site. I received a job, basically job opportunity from founders themselves. They reached out to me and asked me to come to the office and have a meeting with them, because they were basically liking the content that I was putting out there, and it resonated so much with the company's offering, and the offering that the company was providing. They saw me as a valuable resource, which they wanted to to make me the part of their organization, because they felt my content resonated, and I resonated with their offering. So the real struggle comes. Content strategy is clear what it is. How does it help is clear. But what is the real struggle then? The real struggle is actually figuring out the actual intention. Basically, what is your communication? What is it that you want to be known into the world? Basically, figuring that out, uh, unlocking that key to basically find that unique USP, that key skill that you have, or carving out that particular niche for yourself that not only resonates very well with you, but also has a very high demand or a good substantial demand in the society that you are fulfilling, so that your offering and societies and the market demand is getting fulfilled, and you are getting a resonating, a fulfilling career, creating a fulfilling career for yourself, and the market demand getting fulfilled is meeting your requirements in terms of finances, in terms of in terms of your own satisfaction as a work satisfaction as a professional. So that is the real struggle actually, when we come to create content strategy, come to the table and do the work. That is what the work is all about. When we think about content strategy creation, and it is not just the work in when we talk about for social media content strategy, for content strategy for personal branding. It is also, it remains throughout whenever you talk about content strategy, be it for organizations, be it for individuals, be it for yourself. The real struggle remains identifying your key USPs, figuring out that sweet spot that is, a good amalgamation of your key unique USPs and what the market is demanding. So yeah, after you figure out that intention, the second step is actually setting that intention, goal setting, putting the message out there in the world. That is the second step. But the first step has to be very, very, putting, basically identifying your intention and putting it in black and white as clearly as possible. So that is why what how we are going to get figure out our content strategy. The way it happened for me, basically, I'll just give you a short way how I started as a content creator, and my figuring out journey basically to where I am right now as a health and wellness writer. uh, Talking about social media, I started creating content, or I started creating content on social media. The platform that I chose for myself was LinkedIn. So platform, to be very clear, does not matter. It has to be a platform that resonates very well with you, the kind of content, the kind of, as I said, how well you want to be known, and on what content, on what platform that resonates very well with you. When I started creating content on LinkedIn 2 3 years back, as I told you, the job that I previously had was, although was very good, I like not any problem in terms of, other than the work satisfaction that it was not able to create for me. Though I tried a lot, I, tried putting my efforts in different direction while I was there in that company, tried to make it work for me, but somehow it didn't work out. And I was in this space where I felt like I am, I'm not able to basically express myself, or express myself in a way that feels most authentic to me, that gives me joy, gives me, brings joy to me when I'm expressing myself as a professional. uh, in, the only perk that I was getting was that I have a safety, I had a financial net around me, which is a very big thing. uh, but after a couple of years of working, I realized that this is something that I cannot do, for a very long time in my life. So I had to figure out a way for myself to, I was just struggling, juggling, what should I do, what should I do. I stumbled upon LinkedIn. uh, uh, I was on LinkedIn very much previously as well, but I consciously started expressing myself in a very organic manner, not with a lot of pressure or anything that I am basically I what I want or anything itself. I just wanted to express myself, and my journey slowly began like that. Narrowing down and starting with something, and then expressing yourself more and more, and then narrowing down. So this is how I got started, and this is how the first steps have to be. So now it comes to how do you actually identify your intention. When we talk about, we have to find that intention, we have to find that core messaging, we have to find that what is it that, as we just discussed, what is it that we want to be well known for. So for that you have to tap into your to your inner voice, basically go within and feel what find what finds feels good. Basically it all comes down to this one line: find what feels good. You have to tap into your body, you have to get, get into the how you feel about certain subjects, how you feel about certain topics, not how you think about them. When we create content, so many of the times it happens that, you know we start with creating content on certain topics, and then we juggle, which is very much part of it. And later I'm going to speak how to, handle that particular situation when, you are not able to detach yourself from creating content on certain topic, and you are very much in afraid or very much conscious what will this resonate with the audience, or will this resonate with the audience, etc. So we'll deal with those questions later on. But to get started, just have have this understanding that content strategy or content creation, or basically what resonates true to you, has to feel good to you. So you have to reach a place where you can find what feels good, and then keep doing it and keep doing more of it. That becomes your core messaging. That is what becomes what attracts, well, because when you I always say that when you speak with joy and when you speak with generosity, then definitely people do take a notice, and people do get attracted, and you find your voice, and your voice is heard and noticed. So yeah, next we let's talk about how to get started. So now this is the, this is the four five steps that I'm going to give to you to how to get started with creating your content strategy. uh, Yeah, so the thing is that before I get started, I give you the steps to how, how to get started with the content strategy. I would like to give you a small example. Like I told you I told you just previously that how I ended up getting job offers right from the recruiters, without any effort or without any need for me to go into the, job search portals and apply there for jobs. How did that happen? Let me just give you an example of it. So as a person on an individual level, I am a senior care enthusiast. I do my efforts. I have created my own I have created a seniors community within my own society, the society that, I reside in. And I have also organized senior engagement events online as well as offline, but offline because currently we are amidst the Corona pandemic time. So all offline events are for now off. But within our community, we keep, engaging, we keep building a senior care community. That is something, that is a cause that is very close to my heart. And so what happened was, while I was creating content, as I told you on LinkedIn, there came a phase in that journey where I was putting a lot of content on senior care, on basically the I would do a lot of content research, senior care research online on, or go to Quora and join senior community and put in, try to figure out the answers of the questions that the people were asking in general. And do a lot of content creation around senior care. Basically, senior care as a niche in India is a very small niche even as of now. Not a lot of companies or organizations, have are into this niche as of now. So when I started putting out a lot of content in there, first, couple after a couple of posts, after a few posts, maybe 5, 6, 10 posts, my post got started getting recognized by the senior care organization professionals, founders who are into senior care. How it happened was, obviously, as a senior care enthusiast, as I told you, I would also look out for people, organizations, professionals, founders in senior care on LinkedIn and send them my invite. Maybe probably I'll go through what is going on in their industry and engage with that content organically, because out of interest, as I told you, because this is my passion. And once I started, they were on my connections list. So we were connected, and then I posted my content or my thoughts. Basically, I will not say content; I will say thoughts on senior care, etc. And they resonated with it. They picked my enthusiasm. They picked from my joy. They picked from the intention that I had behind that content, and they resonated with it, and they dropped me a line. Pragya, this sounds resonating, and I would love to I would love to get on a call with you, or it would be great if we could catch up for a meeting, etc. So and this didn't happen just once, it happened once, twice, thrice. I have received consequently messages from three founders from senior care industry who, as we got on the call, I got an opportunity to connect with them. They offered me in some way or form yeah, a work opportunity or a collaboration opportunity to do good work in senior care. So that is how content and what that is the power that content and content strategy, when you create, have a focused approach, and you consistently create content that is good, that resonates very true and authentic to you, and that joy, or that that realistic approach, that authenticity reflects, and it makes a connection with the right people. So that is one example. That is how it worked for me once. So yeah, before we get to the steps that you can take for that you have to take for you can take for getting started with your own content creation strategy, there are a couple of things that I would like to address, because this is a journey that I have been through, and I know, trust me, I know how daunting it is when you get started with content creation and content, your content journey on social media, because you have this thing in your head that everybody is watching you, you are on the radar, and what will that person, that who your friend, or maybe your colleague, or maybe anybody who watching you will think about you. A lot of, or is this content, is it what is what you're publishing, is what is what is true, or is what is genuinely you feel, or is just that in the spur of the moment that you're getting this this thought that okay, this is the content that I want to, but probably you will change, or your thoughts will change in a couple of after a couple of time, after some time passes by. So all these feelings, all these things are very natural. I have been through that path. So trust me, it's completely okay. uh, there are a couple of things that I want to mention before we get into the steps part of it, for those steps to work for you. The first part is that you have to let go of the fear. You'll have to let go of all those inhibitions that you have surrounding yourself, because this journey, this content, or I'll say this life journey of finding your voice, because that's what we are doing. We are finding our most authentic self expression for ourselves. And this journey of finding our self expression, this journey of finding our voice is ever evolving. and for not just yourself it, and I would like to congratulate you that you have taken the time out and you give it so much importance to it, that you have to find your voice, and you want to find your voice, and you want to create that journey, you want to get on that journey. And that purpose in itself is a purpose so strong that you have to let go and of all the inhibitions, of all the fear that you have surrounding yourself of what people will think about. Because at the end of the day it does not matter if what others think about ourselves is not our problem, it's theirs. Another thing is you have to, when, as I said, that content creation strategy, content creation is something that is a lot, that involves a lot of creativity when you think about it. It is not a very analytical or very practical thing that okay, this is a equation that you have got, you will work on this, you'll do 2 plus 2 or some apply a formula to it, and the answer you'll get. No, it does not work that way. It's not how you make a real connection with a human being with. And at the end of the day, anything that is happening, anything that you want to make it work for you in on the other side of the screen, is also a human being. So you have to learn to make that connection. That authentic connection will only happen when you portray, you express yourself from the heart, and from the mind and from the heart, and in the present moment, staying very very aware about yourself. So for that to happen, one thing is for sure that whenever you are going on you are doing a content creation for yourself or anyone you are working for, any organization, please try to be or start your journey in a very relaxed state of mind, in a very very calm and relaxed state of mind. Because anxiousness and a lot of fidgety, if you're very fidgety about it, you're in a jiffy, uh, sometimes it will work, it does work, but often that does not bring out a lot of it prohibits your creative juices from flowing very smoothly, because you are under a lot of panic mode, a lot of pressure. Another thing is when you are, because it is a creative process, it is a creative journey. As I said, be very present and be in your body, not in your head, not clear this space up. Because whenever we are doing in general, we are working in life, we are going through our day, we have our checklist, and we just okay, tuck 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 tuck, we are doing all the work, or this work is done, this assignment is done, we are okay, somebody, okay. Okay, so we are, we are going into all this all through the day. We are going into a lot of analytical stuff and doing just from working in our heads. But for an authentic connection, for creating authentic content that really makes a connect, you should be in your body and not in your head. You have to allow yourself to feel, and whenever writing or creating a content, ask yourself how are you feeling about it, not how you are thinking or not how others are feeling or what they are doing. No, that will again create a lot of panic and a lot of anxiety that brings. One quick tip before we move on to the exercise part of it, and how and the steps that I will shortly give to you, is finding out that what is that joy, what is that feeling. As I said, how you're feeling, you have to find that. A quick example that will help you in finding that feeling, what and finding it what resonates well with you, so that you can put it out there. uh, what feels good for me is when I do, in general, I'm telling you, when I expose myself to experiences that feel good to me, I get that feeling of getting acquainted with the feeling of what feels good to me. And then when I create a content in health and well-being, I create a content for any content basically. It is the same feeling that I get in creating my content. For example, I like decorating my house. I like decorating, putting furniture or decorating, create shifting things here and there to, in a way that is pleasant to my eyes. It feels good to me. The same feeling when I write content for myself. This is my profession. This is what I do for my living. It is the very similar feeling that I get here. So this is what feels good. This is how I believe you can also navigate for yourself. What is it in general life that you enjoy? Experience what feels good, and then when you are creating content, try to resonate that. Is it a similar feeling? Is it the similar feeling of joy that you are getting, that you have experienced doing things that you like? Because if it is, then you are very close to when you are very close to creating content that brings joy for yourself and will make a connection with others. So now we come to the strategy creation part. I'll just give you, I'll just give you quick five, uh, five step strategy to get started with your content creation journey, and then we'll do a Q&A in case you want to ask, because I believe last 15 minutes we have. So the first step in the content creation strategy that we have is to create. I'll ask you to go on your social media, keep all the all that we have encompassed in the last 30 to 35 40 minutes, that finding what feels good, or putting yourself in the experiences that brings joy, so that when you create content you can match that feeling. Given that, create 30 pieces of content on the social media platform that resonates well with you. That is the step one. Many people, some people, you'll come across some content strategist or personal branding strategist that will say that create content every day, create content every day, create one piece of content. I for one does not recommend that, because for me, as I said, content creation is about, or strategy creation is about finding what feels good. So as someone who is just getting started with content strategy creation, you have to get started. You have to Content has to come from a place of joy rather than from a place of compulsion. Once you get into that rhythm, you get into stumble upon something that genuinely makes a connect, and then that connect will keep motivating you to keep coming back and keep creating that sort of content more and more. But first, I would say, start publishing content. Create 30 pieces of content. No time compulsion, like even once in a day, then maybe second day or third day, like that. So then I already have addressed that you should not don't create any piece of content and out of anxiety. Calm your nerves down, come from a place of joy. Don't go come lot of panic and a lot of anxiety. No, relax yourself, calm yourself down, resonate with the fine good feeling, and then create the content. Second step is, after the content creation of those 30 pieces of content, at the end of those 30 pieces, you have to reflect back on that journey. You have to reflect back on the pieces of content and reflect back which content pieces resonated with the audience more. Audience, as in, if you are creating it on LinkedIn, then what content pieces attracted more. Sometimes it is about algorithm also. Algorithm also, that some due to some algorithm, no matter how good content you publish, sometimes it does not will or not work. But in general, we have a broad horizon in front of you to navigate and find what worked and what didn't. So reflect back on your journey of this 30 pieces of content and narrow it down to top 5 6 niches for yourself that resonated with you and the audience the most, that closely resonates with you and your audience. And uh, and then start creating more and more content in those 5 6 niches. For example, when I talk about myself, I create content on freelancing, I create content on content strategy, I create content on content writing, I create content on health and wellness, and I create content on personal branding and finding your voice. So these are my top 5, uh, basically. So and most of my content comes into, the umbrella, under this umbrella of these 5 6 branches, niches. And I've arrived on these 4 5 6 niches that, resonates perfectly with me and the kind of content and the kind of work that I'm doing or I want to do after a lot of exercise that I just explained to you. After a lot of publishing a lot of content, figuring out what works, what didn't work, tweaking it a little bit. Uh, but this is a good place to start with a 30 pieces of content. Once you figure it out, those 5 6 pieces of 5 6 basic broad, resonating categories of, like I mentioned, for me it is freelancing, finding your voice, personal branding, content writing, and content strategy. Then start creating content in that particular domains, and that is how, slowly you will keep, you'll get that traction, you'll get that, kind of, once you start exploring more. And it just doesn't mean that you have to create your content. In the process, you'll also reach out to the right folks, reach out to the people who are doing great in those particular categories. Like I very regularly connect with my other content writers who are doing really good, my fellow content writers, personal branding experts, or health and wellness experts, health and wellness writers. I connect with them out of, sheer curiosity and sheer, to understand what they are doing. And sometimes their work inspires me also. What more and how can I do mine? So that is a very organic, very natural process that, that comes when you get into that rhythm of finding what feels good. So, and lastly, when you keep doing these first 1 2 3 steps, keep going through those steps, keep going through those steps unless you figure out that particular 3 4 5 top niches, narrow down those niches that work for you, and keep putting your content, keep putting yourself out there in the most authentic expression of yourself that is possible. So that is, because that is the core and central messaging, that is the core messaging that you have want to put out for yourself out there in the world, that will attract the right opportunities, the right tribe, the right community for yourself, and build an authentic connection. You can always keep coming to this process time and again in your career journey. As I said, finding your voice is a lifelong journey. Even I am today, even I am finding my voice. No, I will continue to find my voice. It will keep evolving as the time goes back. So this process is a very, very ongoing process for an entire lifetime. Like each individual, each brand, everyone around us is growing. So our obviously from time to time, our content strategy will also grow. So I believe this is where I would, sum up the today's session. Now I would, request you guys to, if you have any questions, I would request you to please tell me, and I would love to, take them and answer them. In the meantime, I'll just have a have some water. So guys, if there are any questions, please do let me know. Okay. So I believe right now, We are good. Ayush, you would like to take over? And once again, guys, thank you so much for for joining in and being a part of this session. It's wonderful, and definitely we will try to come back again. And if you have any questions, you can always, even if not now, you can ask to me or mail me those questions on my mail ID pragya.singh@findyourvoice.in. You can also visit my website www.findyourvoice.in to check out my blog sections that captures a lot of content strategy creation tips, and on how it is why it is important, who are the main beneficiaries, how can you benefit. A lot of content is there, so please do take the time out and check it out.
So actually, ma'am, like regarding the question, I think we should give 1 to 2 more minutes to the people because might be they will be typing.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah,
sure, sure,
so
sure,
definitely,
sure.
guys, I have shared the feedback link in the chat box. Guys, do go through that. And regarding the links, like regarding the important link of the Mentor as well as the MFL Educlub, I'll share all the thing in the WhatsApp group itself. So tell now, like if you want, if you have any question, you can write it down in the chat box. So here you go, ma'am. Like one
Okay,
question
yeah.
already popped up.
So Weber has asked, what do you mean by building communication with our seniors in organic and natural process? Okay, okay. So hi Weber. I Yeah, sure. So what I meant was, let me come back to it. When I said that I am a senior care enthusiast, and what I do in our community, seniors community, is that we have our country as in general, the seniors, that senior citizens basically. I'm so sorry, when I meant seniors, I meant senior citizens. So this is a community for that I work towards creating, is for creating senior engagement, basically to have a senior citizen only community, uh, that for, because there's a lot of when you talk about senior care, it is a very neglected area in our country. And a lot of senior citizens are not getting the appropriate uh, guidance or appropriate support, appropriate assistance. They are, a lot of seniors feel left out, or are left out sometimes, even in our society. So our community helps them bring together, create a very closely knit engagement platform, engagement community for them. We have our own WhatsApp group. We create our online and offline engagement events, as well as events for asking out for mind share from different industry leaders, healthcare professionals, to come and address them, etc. So this is what the community is about. Now, when I said creating authentic connection with the seniors, I meant the senior people or professionals, or the healthcare organizations who are into senior care, basically the organizations that are into senior care. So when I put out when we create a event, when we do a event, for example, we did an event last year. So for that, because ours is a non-profit organization. Just a minute, Ritika. Let me just, I'll take just 1 second. I'll address this question. So, yeah, so basically creating an authentic connection helps all the stakeholders in a basically environment, be it seniors. They are on the receiving end, basically they are the part of the community. For them we are working, so our content, whatever we are doing, the events, etc., the communication that we build in that event has to resonate with them. Only then they will get interested in it, and they will come and join us, this platform. For when we talk about stakeholders, in sense, our sponsors, or people, or any organizations who want to collaborate with us, any hospitals who want to collaborate with us in these events, then our messaging has to be so crisp, our content strategy has to be so crisp, that those organizations, those folks, those healthcare professionals resonate with us so nicely, so connect with our content and see value in what we are doing, and are interested in collaborating with us, interested in partnering with us, interested in doing, helping us in the events. And as on a personal level, for myself as a senior care enthusiast, if I am putting a content, senior care content specifically on my platforms, or in the stories that I'm sharing, in the content that I'm sharing, I'm telling my authentic opinion on any particular, basically, for example, there is a lot of chances of seniors particularly for getting getting into fake news scam. So this was a very topic of concern for me. I create a lot of content on that, and this resonated with the professionals, with the founders, and they reach out to me that this is a quite a relevant point, and I would like to, you are very enthusiastic in this area, and let's catch up on let's catch up sometime, let's get on a call, etc. So this is how connection is built, and this is how it works basically. Okay, so I will take another question. Okay. No. Hello. Okay. Ayush, I am not able to see the questions. Can you please help me? How can I see the questions, please? Okay.
So, ma'am, it is in the chat section. If you can go through the chat section.
Yeah, okay. I am in the chat. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. Got it. Mm, okay, ma'am, how can we conduct research on the topic? Very good question. Okay, Aditya. Hi. Hi. So conducting research is very simple. You have to conduct research is what basically research is. You are doing something that you are interested in. You want to know more about it. That is in the nutshell, that is what research is. So just carry out your research in a way you carry out research for movies, that you are, genres that you are interested in. Suspense genre is something that interests you a lot. You will just nail it, in terms of researching, I'm sure, be it Google, be it Netflix, be it researching, discussing with your friends, discussing with, any topic in general, impromptu, a topic on suspense thriller movies comes up, how your mind and your ears and your, you are very vigilant in terms of knowing everything and anything about that topic. And basically that is how the research for any topic that interests you has to be. So so that is about researching. Another question is, um, how can we increase the engagement with the audience with respect to the content regularity and structure with which we should post the content? Right. So this is Ritika. Okay, Ritika has asked this question. Hi, Ritika. Very relevant question. Uh, Starting out your content, social media content strategy, you will not be very clear. I can say this from experience myself, that you are very much puzzled. What will resonate with you? What should be the structure? What should be the regularity of it? That is a lot of strategy, right? That is a lot of strategy to begin with, even when you're not very sure what are the core messaging that you have, that you want to put forward. My suggestion, recommendation will be to, concentrate on the regularity. It is good that if you can, as if you can keep your content in a manner, in a regularity that is just optimum, that is not overdoing something, like, publishing 5 times a day, or things like that. I'm sorry, but publishing one post a day, if that is a kind of consistency that you can maintain for yourself, nothing like it. But I would say if you are just starting out with your content creation strategy, focus more on finding what feels good, focus more on finding your niches, focus more on finding what is that sweet spot between what you have as an offering, as an individual, as a person, and what is the market demand. Once you find those 3 4 niches, then it becomes a smooth journey for yourself, because you are creating from a place of joy and generosity. People are resonating, you are getting your that kind of attention, that kind of traction. It will boost your morale. You will find your structure, you will find your regularity, and you'll find what feels good and works for you. So that is what I will suggest. uh, okay, then it is, ma'am, how can we get referrals for good opportunities and uh, in large companies for content and creators? Okay. Okay, so good question. I think this question was asked by Harshit, I think. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Harshit. Okay. Hi. But for me, I can tell you what works for me. Okay. So what has worked for me is a lot of content, a lot of communication. Basically, communicating, reaching out, not in just reaching personally, reaching out obviously people in through your research, through your interest, out of organic interest. You will definitely land up reaching out to some folks, some industry leaders, some people who are really doing doing amazing work in your industry, out of curiosity, just as a normal, you know um, you are getting inspired with their work. Basically, how you get inspired, and you'll just write, they reach out to them that, hey, I saw this particular post. For example, you said about creatives and graphics, I saw your post, and this I found the concept really interesting, and it would be great to connect. Like that, you made a connection. Now they are in your connection list. Another way is, another organic and natural way is, do your own thing, do your own creatives. Once you have, yeah, it has to be a balance of reaching out through personal, personally reaching out to folks, and reaching out to, through your content. It has to be gel knitted very closely, very nicely. And once you have that communication, that rhythm in the flow, people, organizations will take a notice of you, your community will take a notice of you, and eventually they will reach out to you, and they will ask you that, hey Harshit, this is something that I'm working on, or if you can, help me with this, or what are your thoughts, or any, maybe from your community someone can say that, hey Harshit, see, I am currently, seen your work. Currently this is a very large project that I'm handling, so I will not be able to take up this particular project, and it has, I believe that you can take it up, so will you be interested? So that is how you, and once you get your first client, you do such an awesome work, such an amazing work with that client, that that particular client will give you another client, and then another client. So that is how the chain basically builds up. About large organizations or not, I cannot, I cannot comment and promise. What I can promise is, if you play your cards well, and if you know your worth, and you communicate it in a way that, you are doing good work, and you are taking what, what you're worth for, or what you think you're worth of, then definitely it will going to work out for you eventually. Yeah. So okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, thank you. No, no worries. Great to answer. And how can we increase audience in our market? Okay, this is the last question, guys, that I'm taking, and after that I'll just sign out, and I'll got to go. So this question is by Aditya. Okay, Aditya, a very simple thing, that you have to show your interest, you show your genuine interest, and in that particular field, whatever that is that interests you, that you want to build your career in, build your professional, or wants to get a notice of. basically. And when you from your end is putting yourself out there, putting your interest out there in terms of content, your content in terms of connecting with the right folks, in terms of engaging with the content of the folks that interests you, or the kind of work that you are interested in doing, connecting, engaging with that kind of content, or that kind of that people, those people, it will automatically, you will get the right kind of attention. And once you get that, the right kind of connection building, once you follow through, once you know, build that rhythm, build that connection, natural connection, automatically your audience, the audience that you want to resonate with, that resonates with you, will grow organically. That is how, yeah, that is how it works. Can you share, last question, guys? This is by Divya, and it is can you share any content writing strategy for LinkedIn posts? Okay, so content creation strategy, Divya, for LinkedIn post, I will say is uh, simple. Keep it simple. It has to, the strategy has, it is not like a overnight thing that, okay, I'll give you these 5 tips of content creation strategy and it will work. uh, the process is that only you can find out that particular core messaging that that resonates with you, because you are Divya, you are your own person. That content creation strategy has to be your own, but the process I can guide you. How can you reach, how can you discover that content, particularly that focus, and that focus, that particular core messaging that is yours, authentically yours, and that works for you. The process, as I described, is you have to create content, basically publish content, create content that interests you, create content that you find resonating with, that you find, that you feel good in creating, basically connect with people whose content you like, you naturally like whose content, because that is your natural instinct. You know, follow those instincts, make the right connections, create what feels good, find what feels good, and slowly, as you will reach, the second, third step of narrowing down. Basically, you have to narrow down. When I started, my plain thing was that I have to express myself. I need a platform to express myself, because I was really tensed with this job and not getting a window to express myself fully. So I found this platform. I started creating content to express myself. I stumbled upon people who were making, they were living by writing as a skill. I made friends. I made found my tribe as in content writers community. Slowly, I figured out. I did a couple of projects. Worked on a couple of projects, a couple of industries, various industries, be it food and beverages, be it senior care, be it fashion, or etc. I figured out that I liked writing in health and wellness more than any other fields. This is something that resonated more to me, and all that I did because I started publishing in the first place. So yeah, you have to start tune inside, find what feels good, keep doing that, keep coming back to the table, keep creating authentic content. Slowly narrow it down, find your niche and stick to it, and grow from there. That will be my advice in terms of strategy. For more, I would definitely recommend to visit my website, findyourvoice.in, and you can also write to me, Pragya.Singh at findyourvoice.in. I love to hear from students, from people, and I love to help, and uh, like that. So definitely. So thank you, guys. I would now I got to go, so I'll take a leave. Thank you for joining in, and have a great weekend ahead, and hopefully we'll meet soon.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a lovely session. So I think now we are closing up. So, ma'am, if you want, like, you can sign off as well. Guys, I have shared all the necessary link. I have also shared the ma'am LinkedIn profile. You can reach out to her there as well if you want. Like, and I can also connect with you regarding the same, ma'am. If you want, like, you can sign off. Guys, you have next 2 more minutes. Like,
Sure.
since for next 2 more minutes, this link will be activated. So
Okay.
yeah, if you
Thank
have
you,
any
guys.
questions,
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
thank you,
guys.
ma'am.
Okay. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye, ma'am. So guys, I've shared all the necessary links with you. Guys, do give your feedback on the session. I've shared the link. Like, if you are facing some issue with the chat box, like if you're not able to log in from there itself, I have also shared in the WhatsApp group, so you can take the link from there. So Sangeeta is asking regarding the webinar certificate. No, you are definitely not, because this was for your learning. So I don't think you should get a certificate for your learning where we are teaching you. It would be great, like, if you'll earn by yourself. So yeah. So thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. Uh, no, Sangeeta, I believe key learning is not validated with a certificate. Actually, it's a myth. So it's you who defines the learning through your work. So I don't value, yeah, people nowadays look into, but actually it doesn't matter. And I think from now onwards, certificate is not going to matter. It will be you, because as the competition will increase, like, we have seen there are lots of certificate which is flourishing in the market.